Can you hear me?
No.
Okay, so does this?
No, it's just for this.
Okay, so there was a.
It doesn't work.
Okay, I'm gonna be talking really loud.
Let me introduce you. This is Naomi Olsen, and she is going to present the Advent source Jasper Canion, where every kid is treasured by God. You're going to be looking for jewels and all kinds of things. Jasper Canion is a very fun VBS. I experienced the day in VBS in Oregon this year, and it is fun. You will too. It's getting to be better all the time, and they have a lot of resources going to help you with that. And again, if you have any questions, she's the expert. She's already done it once and presented it for Georgia Cumberland. And if you have any questions, ask her while she's here.
Yes, please.
She will tell you the ins and outs on the computer, out of the computer, whatever it takes to get you on. Okay? Naomi, it's all yours.
Yippee! Okay, so how many of you have done VBS before? How many of you, this is your first time? By yourself? First time by yourself. Okay, so this isn't going to be the traditional, which some of you may be used to, and that is we're going through every little part of what happens in this VBS program. I am here to give you tools to find stuff, plus give you information on the program. Okay, we cool? Okay, so one of the things, everybody probably will get the kit. Okay, so in the kit comes lots of stuff that helps you out, but not everything is in the kit. Okay? So, there is a lot of stuff in the kit, but not everything is in the kit. I am having to organize really, really quick, so please bear with me. Okay, so we have the director's manual, which is very helpful. You should read it. The opening and closing program, very helpful. You need to get staff on board now to start learning their parts. I'm going to talk a little bit more about skits and things like that, and those little things. Your music is also for the guitar chords, and then in the kit you get a DVD and you get a CD. Okay, the DVD has the actual singing the songs and the motions that you can do with the kids, and then there's a CD that has just the music. If you have a group of kids, teens, youth that want to do the music for you, that they can learn it from, okay? So, and also in the kit is the little rock house, which is your preschool. So, and that you're going to need to read, okay? Any questions so far? Right? Okay. Yeah?
Is this transferable to like an online and virtual format?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's why we will be hitting this guy a lot. Okay? It's because some of you may not be able to do it on site still, or you may be all set to do it on site, and then you're doing it with your team on site, but the kids are attending virtually because you're now a closed facility again. Okay? Because we had Delta, then we had Omicron, shut us down. Who knows if anything's coming along the way that may shut us down. So one of the things at Children's Pastors Conference that I picked up was a VBS groupie. It's just a journal. Okay? I don't know how many of you journal on a regular, but if you're in some sort of leadership, VBS leadership or children's ministries leadership, you need to journal what you're doing, what works, what doesn't work, so that you can pass the journal on. You can pass it on to whoever takes over for you, and they can read through your notes and what worked and what didn't work. don't put in stuff in there that's, people personalities and stuff like that. But we all need to be preparing our kids to do what we're doing, right? Right? That is one way to get your thoughts down, so it's like I don't have to sit here and debrief you for 4 hours. I can just hand you my notes. Okay? And that's easier than printing something off. So we start out in our, here we go. Sorry. Some things we absolutely have to have nowadays. You know what I mean? So we start out with our theme. The theme of Jasper Canion is to remind the kids that they are treasured by God. But not only treasured by God, but treasured by you. So what is the easiest way for you to get connected to God? Prayer. What is the second necessary way for you to stay connected to God? Bible study. So your relationship with God is going to translate to what the children see. So if you're talking to them, as you will be with Jasper Canion, as to they are treasured by God, but you're putting them in a timeout with no explanation, are they treasured? No. Okay? So we're going to be going through a couple of things that will help with, don't want that to die on me, that will help with that. Okay. So we have every day starting the same as other VBS programs, and that is you have your opening. So they come in, you register them. First day is always the chaotic day of them getting all their information and that. So if you can ahead of time, email it to the parents. Text it to the parents for them to fill out that registration material so that when the kid walks in, they have it in their hand, because you do need it in paper unless you have a computer system that you are already using for kid check-in at your church. You will need it in paper, okay? But if you're already using a kid check-in program at your church, they can register, you can create an event, and they can register for the VBS event through that program. Questions? That's always an interesting one. Okay, so within the opening program is also where the kids are assigned to cruise. Okay, so they are assigned to, it's not a mouse, it is not a mouse, it's not a mouse. They are assigned to cruise. Where is the mouse? Anybody see the mouse? Oh, there he is. Isn't he cute? Please. Thank you. They are assigned to cruise. So when they are assigned to cruise, the name of the cruise are crystals, geodes, agates, opals, and garnets. So when they are being registered, you're assigning to their group. So we're going to talk about one of the things that you will need to go to this website, and please write down AdventistVBS.org. Make sure you have that somewhere on your piece of paper. AdventistVBS.org. Everything I'm showing you is going to be from that base. Everything. Okay, so in resources, still overview. Oh, yeah, okay. This is harder than I thought it would be. Okay. Down in letters and printouts, you can see there's a bunch of letters to parents that you can do. You can do your information form is also here that is downloadable. This is where everything is downloadable. Also, the opening and closing rock wall, which we'll be getting to, and decision cards are downloadable from here. You will get a sample in the kit. This is where you download them. Clear? Okay. But we are going to buzz down here to this lovely document. Sorry, Sharon. Oh, you don't want that one. Excuse me, 1 second. I want this one. This is a crew leader's guide. Okay? You only can get it from the website. Okay? This is, whoops, sorry. This is something that, is it gonna pop up for me again? Okay. This is something that you want to download, because in the crew leader's guide, never mind. Okay, in the crew, I'm going to just talk about it because it needs to do something else. In the crew leader's guide, it has code of conduct for your youth and teen crew leaders that they can review and sign off with you on. That this is what you expect of them. Your millennials, your Gen Zs, all of your young people right now do not want you just to give them a task and walk away. They want you to give them a job and tell them what it is and give details. What's their responsibility? What is expected of them, okay? So the crew leader's guide is where that information is. So there's a code of conduct to keep your children safe, for them to understand. And then on the other side is where that crew leader's name, the name of their crew, which is one of the 5 that I just gave you, and the kids that are in their crew, their names go. How many of you have, in the past, each night, put your kids in different crews and had problems? Doing this and putting them in the same crew every night creates safety for the child in a world that they feel very unsafe. Okay? So this is really important to have the name of the kids. You can add new kids, but you don't take away. So that they know that they are treasured by God. Okay? All right? So, also in the crew leader's guide is something that you are not going to actually find in the lesson, but is mentioned there. And we're going to get to that in a second. So going back to our opening and closing program. So remember the crew leader's guide and all this fun stuff that you can find. How many of you enjoyed that there was one key verse that the kids learned all week long? One key verse. So that you could get them to dwell on that verse, and by the end of 5 days, 6 days if you do a weekend program, they actually know this verse and can repeat it as a group because they have learned it as kids learn best in sections. Okay, so it is Romans 8:38, and it comes like before in 5 breakouts that you can do each day. This comes in the kit. And you can either get them laminated or you can, put them on something. So, for I am certain that nothing can separate us from God's love, neither death nor life, neither angels nor other heavenly rulers or powers, neither the present nor the future, neither the world above nor the world below. There is nothing in all creation that will ever be able to separate us from the love of God, which is ours through Christ Jesus our Lord. Romans 8:38-39. How important is this verse to our kids? How important is this verse to you in the age that we're living in? For I am certain, it starts out Paul saying, for I am certain, like there is no doubt in my mind. Wouldn't you love to say that to the kids? I am certain. Are you certain? Well, this week we're going to learn about how certain we are and how certain we can be. So, this verse, each day, broken down, your crew leader, guess what they have to do with the kids with this verse? Help them learn it. Okay, how many of you have visual kids? Okay, how many of you are visual learners? You now have visual kids. I just listened to this really interesting thing on fractals today, and how fractals is a mathematic, and it's based on pictures. Math based on pictures. Anyways, we're visual learners. Day one of the Jasper Canion is, it's not gonna, okay, nope, not gonna stay. Okay, it's not gonna stay. Okay, day one is on the flood. How many of you understand the flood? It's a really tiny boat that had 8 people and a bunch of animals. But it's a really tiny boat. What was the name of the town that Noah lived in? I suggest you read this when you get home. There was no name. The boat was built for the world. It cannot be a tiny boat. So when you're doing day one, make it as big as possible. Because it can't be a tiny boat. Because it was not for the little town that Noah lived in. It was for the entire earth to come into. Plus those animals 2 by 2. So again, my theory of there was football being played in that big space down below, I'm going with it. Anyways, so day one is the flood. Trying to flip. Okay, day one is the flood. The daily find, so you'll be using archaeological terminology in this, as you saw by the crew leader's name. So the daily find for day one is Jesus made me special. I dig it! See, it says I dig it on the shirt. Right there. I dig it. Okay? So whenever you say in opening or closing program, the daily find, what do you say? Jesus made me special.
I dig it.
Okay? So now let's do it with attitude. Jesus made me special. I dig it! Okay? Make sure you have attitude. Okay? That this is something important. Okay? This is another thing. Your crew leaders are going to be encouraged in that printout to make up their own cool pose for their group. Again, bringing them to a little bit more of a safety. Okay? So, at the opening program, the theme song, introduction of the crews. So, in here, we have our music. At the top, when you are trying to figure out what songs to go with or anything like that, or you have a group and you only have one CD, one DVD, where do you go for them to learn their songs? They do have to be downloaded. If you press play on this, which we're going to do, it is only for like 40 seconds. So you get a snippet of what it sounds like for all of the 5 songs. And then you can choose from, this is also on the CD, not the DVD. The DVD is just the contemporary, but you can choose just the instrumentals so that there's no voices. And then you can go down further if you're wanting traditional. There's traditional in English and there's traditional instrumental that you can download. All of that is on the CD, the music CD, just that. Okay, so you do your theme song, you introduce your crews every opening program. Okay? So you want them in a designated color. It does not have to be the shirt that you can order from Advent Source. They don't have to get it ahead of time so they can bling it out. It does not come like this. I did this because I don't know about you, but it was kind of boring. You know? So I was like, And these are like little shiny, like, you know, garnets or something. So anyways, you can bling it out. But they need to be in the same colors so that the kids immediately know, oh, I can ask them a question. You need to be in a uniform also so that the kids know, I can ask you a question, okay? And if that uniform is that you can't afford the t-shirts, but you can afford hats, do hats, okay? Figure something out so that they know. So you introduce them, you introduce the daily find, Jesus made me special.
I dig it.
Yes, all right. Okay, did you do your cool pose? Oh, okay, we'll be saying it again, and you'll have to do your cool pose. Okay, then there's the skit and the song of the day. Okay, the skit you can use from the DVD that you're getting that has Dr. Soil's skit, or you can, and this is so exciting for me, I cannot tell you how exciting this is for me, because in this room right now is a geologist, a man who has worked in Florida for many, many years. He has worked in phosphate mining for many, many years. Him and his wife are back there now thinking, not really listening to her, but Jan and Don Kreisinger, Don is a geologist. Who do you think I might get to help with the skit that's talking about what? Rocks! Somebody like Don who knows and is from Florida and might be able to add something to the discussion as to what can be found in Florida. This person does not need to be at every one of your meetings. They just need to understand what they're going to be doing. How exciting can that be for the kids? Okay, there is also something that they are introduced at the opening program with Dr. Spoil is the mascot. The mascot's name is Rockhound, Rocky the Rockhound, okay? And it's a dog, okay? And you can go out and you can spend, you know, $200 on a dog costume, put someone in that dog costume, have them come and do the dog part. But wouldn't it be so much cooler for the kids if somebody came in with an actual dog that maybe didn't have the name of Rocky, but you kind of took on the name of whatever the dog is, and that dog was the one that was sniffing out for the daily find, like a nice golden retriever, you know? Or a German shepherd, or one of those great big Corsicas, you know? I mean, they just walk in the room and you're like, yeah, I'll be sitting here for a while, not moving. Let me just hang out, okay? But, so your mascot can be something that is also from your church, someone in their church, that's their only job. Bring the dog in, he wanders around with the dog, he sniffs out and finds the daily find. And then they leave, go do the park thing, and then come back to do the closing program. Okay? So there's those options with your mascot. Then, oh, sorry. Okay, so in the opening program for day one, it has this that you get to say, as the leader. I have an assignment for you. I want you to talk about a time when someone cared for you and treated you special so that you felt valuable. Examples could be when you felt frustrated with homework or a project or a sport. and a leader, coach, parent, or friend encouraged you. Maybe when you were having a bad day and someone made you smile. Or you were lonely and someone sat next to you at lunch or played with you on the playground. Okay, are you going to want the kids to be shouting these out? This is now the crew leader, again. Can't emphasize enough that importance of training your crew leaders to be ready to be having this conversation, which is a part of their packet. Okay? Because what I just read to you is what the crew leader, not the leader, is saying to the kids in opening program. Do you understand why you need to keep the same ones with the same crew leader? They are building a relationship. What is the greatest relationship you can have in your life? The greatest relationship. Anybody? Nobody? Greatest relationship.
With God?
With God. All through the Old Testament, what was God trying to do? Have a relationship. All through the New Testament, what's God trying to do? Have a relationship. You know, something happened. Okay. All right. So that's your opening program. Now, they will go into their day one. They will exit into their day one. Oh, I put it over here. Okay. They will exit into their day one. And now we're going to look at the rotations. So the testing pit. Okay? The testing pit is the games. How many of you love games? Okay? Love games. Would so do games for like 40 minutes rather than a craft. So would do it. Okay? Love games. So with games, you have many getting out the energy and all that kind of thing in your rotation. So in the testing pit on day one, it's very helpful because it tells you for your supplies, which all of us love to do, just admit it now, go to Amazon.com and order plastic lunch plates, 50 pieces in chocolate brown. We get to shop. Day one for games. Okay, so in day one, it is a get to know you game. So when the kids are standing on the plate, they have to tell their name and maybe something else about themselves. So it's a get to know game. So they're getting to know each other. Again, who are they treasured by? And who is showing how much they're treasured? Me. Okay. So it has instructions for the testing pit of what they're supposed to do to prepare for the game. So the testing pit is one of the rotations. The next rotation, another rotation, is the picnic snacks, which is the Bible story. Yeah, I got it. She's like, what? No, I don't think so. So it's the snacks. And for day one, they are making a yogurt and fruit parfait. Okay? Yogurt and fruit gives you the table settings and everything that you need to use for that parfait. Okay? The next rotation is the crafts. And they are making out of Epsom salt, sandwich bags, and egg cartons. What do you think? A rock. They're making a rock. Because it's Epsom salt, and you put water with it, and then it kind of dries out, and it becomes a glittery rock. Okay? But there's more that happens there than just the rock, but that's those kind of things. Each other day, remember, this is what's happening with the flood. Everything's becoming a rock. Woohoo! Okay? tells what to do ahead of time, instructions on putting food coloring in it so that you have a pink rock, and what the leader will say, okay? We want pink rock. You know, a nice bright one would be nice. Nice bright pink rock. We love a nice bright pink rock. Anyways, okay. Then it goes into what is called, what do you think? What do you think the Bible story is called?
The flood.
No. The rotation. How many of you are researchers?
I like them.
Okay, all right. Have you ever heard the research term, are you mining information?
Yes.
So it's called gemstone mine. And the kids are mining information from the Bible story. Okay? So they have a script that the person doing the Bible story can go by, or if they want to, they can make it their own and still use the colored glasses. Because, you know, we live in Florida and there's sunglasses that are really different colors. Or you can use a kaleidoscope for them to look through and different things like that. It's for them to see, in this Bible story, it's for them to see, trying to find it. Okay. When you look through these glasses, does it change how you see things? So it's to help them to see how things can, no, go back. How things can change and how you can adapt with them, or you can be stubborn. But personally, for me, I like to adapt and cause craziness at the same time. Anyways, so gemstone mine, we're going to do what with the Bible story? Mine. We're gonna mine information. Okay? And then, now, this one might be a little difficult for you. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the prayer station. I want you to give me just, some ideas as to what this might be called.
The prayer station.
The prayer station.
Talking with Jesus.
Talking with Jesus, okay. Remember that our theme is rocks. Treasure box, could be a treasure box because you're in the beginning, it's I'm treasured by God. Jesus makes me feel special. I dig it. Okay, what else could it be called?
Walking with Jesus.
How about, are you ready? Excavation station. Excavation station. Because what are they excavating? What are they excavating? They're excavating a relationship with Jesus. And to excavate, you have to what? Remove and replace. You have to find new stuff, excavating. So with the prayer station, they are using magnifying glasses. Job is to dig up ancient artifacts here at this site. An artifact is something that has been buried underground. How many treasures are in the Bible? Huh? Okay, did you know that Buzz Lightyear was in the Bible? Buzz Lightyear absolutely is in the Bible, in 4 places. What was his brother's name?
Woody.
Uz. Genesis, go to Genesis, look up Genesis, chapter 31, verse 21. Buzz is in the Bible. It's like you thought the boat for the flood was small, and it was to carry the world. Okay? There's things in there that you are always going to surprise you. So when the kids are coming out, and this is back to the crew leaders, when the kids are coming out and going back to the closing program, They are going to go by whatever you have designed for the rock wall. And if you did the one last year, it was a prayer wall and they stuck in between the prayer cracks a prayer that they were doing. This one is a rock wall, and only in that crew leader guide is the question of the day that they are going to write on a piece of paper and stick on this wall. Okay? So again, you have to download that. Yeah. You're gonna have to read it. Ain't it fun? So much fun. So, for day one, what does God do to show you how special you are? Is the question that they're answering. Okay, now, the crew leader's job is going to make sure that they look at themselves as what God does special for them, not at what God does special for mommy, or brother, or sister, or daddy, or grandma, or grandpa, or someone else. The crew leader is the one that's going to direct them to, this is what does God do special for you. Okay? All of our kids, if you've had any conversation with a group of kids, all of them are talking about what he's doing special for someone else. Okay? So, on the rock wall, they write down their answer. No. And and the answer then is stuck on the wall. So what's the wall going to look like by the end of the week?
Green.
Whatever color. But it's going to look like a bunch of little things stuck to it that have answers on it. Okay? So, you need to have somebody, their job is each night to read these.
Yeah, question. So the activity basically for that day would be for them to answer a question and then put the sticky on the rock wall?
On the way back to the closing program. After they've done the whole rotation and they've been introduced to why they are treasured by God through the story of the flood, they're asked this question by the crew leader, and then they put their answer on that on the way back to the closing program. Okay? All right? So, you need to look at these, because what's going to end up on there? Prayer requests. Some kids, in their answer, are going to include a prayer request. You need to be aware of those prayer requests, and when you're having your prayer at the beginning of your program, praying for those requests. And hopefully you've already put in place a prayer team that's praying for your VBS, and that you can transfer these to those people to continue praying for them. So now we get back to the closing program, past the rock wall. And in the closing program, it's pretty much, I'm not going to go through it because I am very out of time and I have something to show you. It's pretty much, the closing program is pretty much like the opening program with your music, your skit, and things like that. But included also, and your dog coming back, sniffing out the daily find. Again, he's back there. But ADRA Water Project is again. This is their little promo for it.
Oh, good morning, everybody. My name is Lucy. And I'm Nico. And welcome to World of Water. This is a show about water and the people around the world who use it.
I'm here at the National Wood.
So this is what your kids are going to see. They're going to see the show of water, another video. Each day is a different video as to a specific place that they can go and learn about water. Okay?
That means it's...
All right, also, you'll see here, this is a preview for VBS leaders. Also, a preview that you can do at your church to introduce them that you're doing VBS. Also, this is an hour-and-a-half webinar that was done by Sherry and Brad Forbes. Sherry, forgot her last name, where they go through how you can decorate, how the program can move. Judy just talked to you about that she was in Portland. You're going to get to see where they actually created all the videos or the music and that during this webinar that they have. And then at the bottom past that, come on, is where you can purchase the kits and that. Now, how many of you are Pinterest enthusiasts? Woo, woo. Okay, guess what? Right at the bottom, Adventist, VBS.org at the bottom. You click on the Pinterest, guess where it takes you? Dun, 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 dun. Advent Source Pinterest site that you can go down and you can see how other people have posted, welcome back, Sharon. However, people have posted pictures of their VBSs, printouts that you can do, all kinds of different information. Pinterest, okay? The other part is at the top of this same website, for your convenience, there is this lovely word, shop. How many of you like to shop? Okay? If you click on shop, guess where it takes you? Advent Source, and you can order hats, you can order in Spanish, you can order another copy of the Skits. You can also order this coin bank, look, it's free, that you can use to collect the water donations for the mission project. Okay? Right here, and there's a lot more stuff in this same area. Just, wander down, go to next, see more stuff. If you need extra copies of the Daily Find posters, the station posters, there's extra copies here. If you need extra copies of the verse, extra copies are here that you can order in the already glossy. Okay? So, shop takes you where? Advent Source. Now, let's say that you do not want to do Jasper Canion, you don't have the money. There's this lovely all VBS programs that is also on this website. Oh my goodness. And you can choose from heroes that we did last year, Johnny Kingdom, year before, Sea of Miracles, Cactusville. If you already have the kit for those and you don't have money to spend and you want to use those, but you want to reprint stuff because it doesn't look as good as it did, you can still get it here. Just like this website that I just showed you is exactly the same when you hit that. And you can still go to Advent Resource and order the stuff. Okay? So it's not like you have to buy another kit. Okay? But you can actually get it. This is the bag that your crew leaders would use. I do not recommend that each of your kids get this. I recommend that your crew leaders get this so that they know that the kids know that this is special. Okay? The kids get it's probably lost again. The kids get little medallions that can be put onto a carabiner for each day, like they have done in the past. So they're little paper, cardboard medallions. So there is a little envelope to send all your money in. So, questions? No questions. A lot of info. Was this helpful?
Yes.
Was this helpful?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It was.
there is so much information on this site that you can go to that I did not feel that you needed me to show you how to actually do the program. I wanted you to get resources so that you can do the program and learn at your way of learning. Okay? All right? So I hope that this was helpful, and I'm out.
Let's get ready.